welcome back to Chandler's channel. I'm Tracy, your host, and today's session is our intuitive weekly reading for October 21st to 27th, 2013. And as always, I like to touch back on last week, so Whitehawk will be up in just a moment, so stay tuned for a minute or so, and I'll go get Whitehawk for our upcoming week. But last week, it was a real deep and it was kind of a challenging, I think, reading. It was certainly a challenging reading for me to get through because it started off slow and then picked up. But in it, really, he was teaching us about how connected we are in the world, in the universe, as a people, and how our body's wisdom picks up on many events that go on, whether it be on the other side of the world. And so for me, what had happened, if you go and you listen to that weekly reading again, you'll hear me state that I had had a sore back and I was going to check in with my sore back through the body wisdom videos that I did. There was 3 of them, which you can get in the archives, teaching you how to check in with your body. I didn't have the opportunity to check in with my sore back, but that's okay. The information came to me in a different way through Twitter, through one of my people that I follow. They had mentioned there's going to be a lunar eclipse, and I went, oh, that's it. That's what it totally is. And of course, miraculously, 36 hours later after the lunar eclipse, my backache disappeared. So I was able to say, oh, that's what my back is all about. And we will feel it that deeply, that we are that deeply connected. I had mentioned before in Thailand when that devastating tsunami had happened, I had this pain in my pressure point here, and I just could not get rid of it, And then when the tsunami occurred, it dissipated. It disappeared, and that's how it will work. And so it's just, it really is mind-blowing at the body's wisdom and how connected we are as a people, as a universe, as a world. So pay attention, journal, report the events, look up to see, well, was there an earthquake? And there was an earthquake this past year, this past week as well. And then there was a ferry ship that sank, which I believe a bunch of Somalians were on it. So, we're all connected, and we'll feel all those events going on. And so that was quite atrocious, that ferry sinking, right? I mean, wow. So, and they were a bunch of immigrants trying to flee their country to a better place, right? And in the end, the ferry sank, which is just awful. Okay, so enough about last week. Let's move on to this upcoming week. So let's jump in and let's see what Whitehawk has to say for the week ahead. Indeed, he says, what can one say about the week ahead that has not already been said? I'm like, ugh. And everybody's like, ugh. And he says, indeed, my children. And he's like patting our heads as he's walking around us like in a circle as he's about to, to tell us the bad news. It's not bad news, my children, he says, or Tracy. It is not bad news. Indeed, it is always good news, for there is always a healing. There is always a teaching. There is always a silver lining, so to speak. And so we sit listening to, our teacher, Whitehawk. And he says, indeed, it is not going to be a devastating week. Oh no, it will not be a devastating week. He says, but it will be again a week full of challenges for many. But for others, he says, it will be a very week of whimsy, a week of lightfulness, a week of airiness for many. And when he's saying this, I'm seeing this vision of clouds. So above the clouds, like up in heaven, and I'm seeing this, I'm not quite sure if it's an angel, but it's certainly someone dressed up as an angel, like in a white sheet wrapped around, maybe more toga-ish, and then the green, the gold leafing crown, you know, so that would be more toga, right? More Grecian. And but he does. It's a youthful boy with brown hair, kind of curly, wavy brown hair, and he's maybe anywhere between 14 and 21, 15 and 21, and he's got like a small harp. And he's got the wings. So he's kind of playing, right? Playing, not playing the harp, I mean playing as in imaginary play, as in dress up. And he's in heaven and he's kind of pretending to be an angel and floating over the heavens, you know? And Whitehawk says, yes, indeed, there will be much time for play, nay? And everyone's kind of laughing. And me too, I guess, because I'm thinking of the upcoming Halloween. And he says, indeed, there will be much time for imaginary role play, which is a godsend. He says, at this point in time of the month of our life, he says, for indeed that can bring a lightness to the challenges. And so as I was giving this reading, Jesus was kind of letting me know that he indeed is here. And Whitehawk says, indeed, he is here, and he does have much to say. So let's allow him to play. So while we're still up on the clouds and this boy, this youth is playing in his imaginary role as an angel, Jesus comes along dressed in his white garment, robe, and it's just all white, and then of course he has his sandals and his hair is brown and long. And he says, yes, it is very important to play today, as always, he says. But sometimes we need to take time for ourselves and those others around for us to allow them to play through the day. And so the youthful boy, gosh, why can't I think of this proper thing to call him? Teenager, young adult, stops and he stops playing and sits down and is going to have a listen to what Jesus has to say. And Jesus says, yes, young man. He says, yes, especially you. I'm speaking with you. He says, it is much fun to play the day away. He says, but indeed there are responsibilities. There are things that we need to do in order to be able to play the day away. And so what I'm saying to you, children, and he kneels down to the little boys, not the little boy, the youthful boys level. He says, what I am saying to you, children, is that indeed you need to work away the day in order to be able to play. And this young man is listening and is kind of nodding his head. He says, it is no fun to play the day away every day. He says, for then, where are you going? What are you working towards? What could possibly come on your path through play every day? And the young man listens. And I'm not telling you, my friend, he says, that you need to work hard or diligently, but I am saying you do need to get up and you do need to not only play, but you need to work your day away as well. And then he stands up from this young man and he says, do you understand, children? And it's really funny because now as we look through all the clouds, which looked like it was just the one boy, there are many who were kind of hiding underneath the mist or the fogginess of the clouds. And they kind of come up and they nod their heads and they say, yes, Father, we do understand. It is just, we get caught up in the play of the day. So we do not work, we play. And Jesus says, I understand, my children, but there is responsibility. And the play comes through the pay, he says, of the work day. And they nod their head. A little work, he says, my children, will take you very far in your day. A little work, my children. I'm not telling you to go out and be slaves for the day. I'm simply saying a little work will take you far in your day to help you to pay for your play. And they're all like, oh, sigh. Yes, Father, we understand. And these young adults that are listening and children who are listening they needed to hear that, for it was not something that they did not already feel and know in their life. I guess they just needed someone to come and tell them in such a way to not worry their day away in play. And so all these young adults sort of stand up now and they start sort of moping away, you know, I guess to go work a bit of their day away instead of staying in play. Oh, what a lovely reading, all these little metaphors and rhymes and riddles, right? And they walk away kind of like, you know, like dragging their blanket behind them, or the young boy I was telling you about who had the harp was kind of like dragging his harp behind them, like their tails between their legs, you know? And they're going to go and they're going to work. And Jesus says, God bless, children. You know I'm always here for you. All you need to do is knock, and I will answer. And I will play as well with you in your day. If you will only stay and play, he says. If you will only stay and play. And they all kind of smile a bit as they continue walking to go work in their day. God bless, children, he says. God bless. And he watches as kind of a proud papa. And then he bows to me, saying, thank you, Tracy. Like in this whole nod, he's telling me, thank you for allowing me to come and speak with the children. My children. God bless, Jesus. God bless Whitehawk. Well, there you have our reading for the week ahead. That was an interesting reading, wasn't it? Lots of day and play and work day and tons of rhymes and riddles. I never know exactly how it's going to go. I just kind of got to follow it. And I think what was going to say? This somehow led back to last week. Oh, sorry. I don't know. As I was channeling, I was also sort of thinking. So multitasking. Anyways, so that's our reading. So join us on Thursday for the intuitive log. I'm going to do it on natural disasters unless something else comes up that's more pertinent to this time frame in the world. Since we've had earthquakes and, you know, there's all kinds of other things that happen, hurricanes, tornadoes. So let's have a check-in and see what Whitehawk has to say about natural disasters. All right, well, go work in your day so you can pay for your play. See you soon. God bless. I'm Tracy for Chandler's Channel. Subscribe, it's free. Like, comment, be kind, and keep it clean because it's your karma. And share. Bye now.